Okay, we're live. Music. There we go. Uh, Welcome everyone. So we are currently on day 3 drawing Tighnari from Genshin Impact. Um, Between yesterday's stream and today's stream, I was thinking about ways of making the overlay of the stream more appealing because I was thinking that maybe just looking at the CSP layout isn't super interesting. I don't yet know what I will make, but I was thinking making something in the way of like a PNG tuber or something like that. I don't know if full VTuber would be ideal for me, but a PNG tuber seems like, at least for the current time, like easy to make and just really fun. So I might do that and then mix it up with a more interesting overlay. Maybe include the chat in the window so that people can just full screen it and not worry about it. And for people that like to leave the video on the background, I am doing my best to try and talk as much as I can. Um, Sometimes I do end up being silent, and I apologize for that, but there are really some parts that I tend to be more focused on, and on those instances, it's kind of hard to speak. But yeah, without further ado, we are going to start coloring Tighnari. Let me just check. Everything seems to be fine. Yes. So, last stream we managed to go from the finalized sketch into the line art. As you can see, it's very similar, right? The only big difference is difference in line weight to indicate what's in front and what's in the back. And even then, here it's not so clear what's in the front and what's in the back, and we're gonna work on that. But let's make a new folder and leave it there. Even though the folders themselves don't have a name, I could add a name just so that you can follow along. So right now, the drawing has around 8 hours. I did use a bit of that time to talk on stream, but it's part of the process of streaming. It does eat up a little bit of your time, but honestly, I find it enjoyable. If anything, it just makes me want to work more. So actually, the folder for the color is going to be below the line arts. Yes. So we are going to separate things into flats, and for that, I think I'm going to make a folder, an entire folder for color, and we'll see how we go from there. So this is my worst part. It's coloring. I am not very good at it, so the entire time is going to be a huge exploring process. So I hope you can deal with me. Actually, I forgot to open the reference page just to have an idea. All right, it certainly has a lot of color to it. So yeah. As I'm seeing, I think the hair and the ears share the same color, and then there's a sort of fade towards the tips. So we're gonna delineate the area. I've also been recording, well, not recording, I've been downloading the VODs, and I've been uploading them to YouTube, because since I'm a small creator, Twitch doesn't keep the VODs for very long, and so I need a more permanent way of storing them, because I think it's fun, even for the journey itself. Like, who knows, if I continue streaming for a year, I also want to see how much I improve, you know? Alright, so those two strands of hair are actually a different color, so we're going to ignore those. I think the microphone is a little bit too low. I'll fix it in the next stream. Gotta add the gain to it. I'm not gonna fix it now. I also noticed that the music was too loud, at least for my taste. I want it to be subtle in the background, and it was everything but that. So, because I want this to be a chill stream. Because I can't, if I leave a video in the background or something just to have noise, I can't focus too much if it's too loud. I actually love this song. Whoever made this song was inspired. Swear to God, so good. There we go. Now just remove this area right here. There we go. So we can start by laying out a flat. It's gonna be a sort of dark desaturated blue. Not yet sure how I'm gonna go about this, because the line art doesn't get very visible. So how will I do this? I think for the time being, I can clip the layer of the line art and just color it black, just so it can give me a helpful guideline. It looks much flatter when everything is black, but it's helpful. Let's reselect and the dark desaturated blue. Okay, it's slightly more visible. It's not that dark though. It's a lot lighter, I think. Yeah. Like that. And it sort of transitions, so I'm thinking maybe to make a smoother transition, I should do something like this, perhaps. Again, so on exploration, I have no idea what I'm doing, so yeah. Because usually the shading is what sort of defines the style. Like, I don't know a lot of illustrators that define their style with just the line art. The coloring and the shading tend to overwhelm it a lot. I think this is okay. Right. Now we need a layer on top of that. Do this, and we're gonna do lasso this time. The thing that I don't like about the lasso tool is that it doesn't have a stabilizer to it. So sometimes the selection gets very wonky, and yeah, because the friction on the paper actually stabilizes my hand quite a bit, since the hand is always resting on the paper in some way. But on the tablet, it's like I could just not wear the glove, but if I do that, I'm gonna be getting the tablet very dirty very quickly, and I don't want that. So I think the selection is more or less corrected, right? I think. Yeah. In terms of making the stream more interesting, I've also been thinking of I actually selected the wrong thing. I've been thinking like making something for the followers, you know? Although most people that follow me were interested in the 3D content that I was doing previously. But, you know, I did 3D, basic 3D even, just to study a little bit. Also something that I might have mentioned, but I'm not sure. Right now I'm waiting for the results of my master's degree application. So it comes out in September 29th, supposedly, and today is September 23rd. Let's hope that I get in. If I do get in, however, I really need to rethink how I'm gonna do about streaming regularly, because it's gonna be very, very complicated. I'm gonna... Hopefully, if I enter, I'm gonna be learning about illustration and animation. So, that's a good thing. for me. I'm very interested in that. I've always been. So I think that looks, yeah, that looks decent, right? Select, reselect. Maybe like that, and maybe a little bit more. Yeah, maybe like that. I've always been interested. By the way, the lasso tool. I don't know why it does that. But I'm gonna have to fix it now, or else it's gonna be really bad later on. Oh, I know what it is. It's the line art is slightly transparent. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, I can still fix it like this. Alright. But yeah, I'm waiting on that. And if I do get in, I'm gonna have to move to the city that I'm gonna be studying in. So that's always an interesting thing. But as I was saying before, I was interested in doing something for the followers. I know there is at least one so far that is interested in my illustration. So, you know, I don't know if I want to do something like a random selection of one follower and do like a commission or something. I don't know if that would take a lot of time though, because so far I've been, you know, like what, 8 hours deep into this one. If I did that for everyone, or for every single one of those, it's gonna be bad. Also, here we need to fill in a little bit. There we go. There's a sticker on my tablet that is always coming out off because I'm always putting my hand there. And the more it comes out off, the worse it gets. Alright, so we have the hair. Saving. Also, CSP is saving a time lapse of the entire process. So I might end up with that time lapse to post in social media and things like that. I don't know exactly where I'm gonna post that, but I think platforms with short formats would benefit from this, so maybe TikTok and YouTube Shorts or something. I don't know. We'll see. So it is a yellowish green, or a greenish yellow. Oh. Something like this. Actually, there we go. Now we can select everything. Good. Let's see how it looks first. I think. Oh, actually, I don't think that's really too bad. Damn. Alright, let's continue. I hope you don't hear the keyboard clicking too much, because I really wanted to have the microphone on the opposite side but unfortunately I have to have the microphone close to the keyboard, and yeah, I try to minimize noise, but I don't know how effective that was. What is that? There's always like artifacts showing up. It's in the line arts. It's there. There's always these little artifacts that I really don't know where they come from. They always show up. Okay, I think I can lock the line art, right? Yeah. So, very good. The face. Well, the face is very pale. So it's gonna be lower. Essence, sort of cream. Cream, but like maybe like this. Let's see. I should select first. I'm not used to this workflow yet, so bear with me. I think he's even more pale than this. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Let's see. Yeah, almost. I think he is kind of like this, and then shadows will reveal the subscattering and things like that. So I think I'm gonna have to leave the base color like this, and then leave the shadows, leave the rest of the work to the shadows. So yeah. The hands are not showing, but we can already use this to color the arm, or at least the one exposed arm. As I said yesterday, Genshin is really good at employing asymmetry in their designs. Saving. There we go. That's the arm, and also the legs. The legs are also a bit exposed. So we go there. Yep. I think this is from Soul Silver, right? 23. Yeah, Route 38. I don't know exactly what route that is, but I have played enough Soul Silver to recognize this song. Oh. Such a good game. Such a good game. Okay, the skin is done. I don't think there's any more exposed skin. No. Alright. So it's like the complexity of the design isn't even fully here because I've only drawn in I've only drawn in what has texture, and actually I noticed that there's something that I haven't drawn yet. So let's take care of that real quick. Alright. This line art. It is something simple, but I don't know why I missed it. It's a 4th strip here, but it has a different color to it. Nevertheless, it shouldn't be too complicated for me to add. So, actually, I think it's preferable to not even draw anything there. And yeah. All right. This is the weight of the outside, and that is the occlusion. And you know, not much to add here. Maybe a little bit like this, maybe something like this, but not much else. Yeah. All right, that is fixed for now at least. Let's continue. This is the skin. Now we're going to be working on what? Oh, actually, let me just bring the chat back. Can't ignore it for too long. Maybe I should work on the flower first and go from there, I think. Well, let's do this thing. So it needs to be above that. So let's put above everything else. Let's it's easier if I do this. Okay. Oh, this one has to be diamond, pearl, and platinum, I think. Because these are the lakes. Yeah. Almost certain that it is that. Alright. Let's try, so we have yellow. It's golden. Maybe we try this. I think it's too bright, but we'll see. I think for now we can leave it like that. I guess fine. Yeah. The eyes. Again, focusing on the line art. I forgot completely that the eyes also have line weight. Amateur mistakes. There you know. The word amateur has its roots in the one that does things out of love. So being an amateur is not a bad thing. just means that you love doing what you do. So in a sense, even if you become professional at some point, doesn't mean that you stop being an amateur. Because you still love what you do. Or, if becoming professional means that you stop being an amateur, then becoming professional means that you hate what you do. Maybe we shouldn't strive for being professionals, after all. You know, just a thought. But of course, it's only semantics. You know, in an ideal world, we should all make money doing the things that we love. Obviously, that's not possible, right? But one can dream. Now, the eyes. The eyes are actually very, very interesting in this character because they have a color gradient that doesn't feel like heterochromia, and the pupil is white. So that's another interesting thing. It appears that it goes from like a brown to a green. So we're gonna do exactly that. Go into the oranges. More to the reds. There we go. A rich brown on the top side, something like this, right? And of course, already indicating some sort of curve to it, and then a sort of desaturated green. I think I can pick up this color. And very light as well. Let's see. Let's reduce the size of the brush, please. Something like this. Let us do it again, just to further mix those two. I'm not going to use pure white. I think having the skin color works well. Yeah. Because I'm going to use color history a lot, I think I'm just going to undock it. And I only need like the most recent one, so I'm going to leave it here. It's more practical for me, and it's less jarring as a viewing experience. Alright, let's continue. So we have the face. I think we need to organize this a little bit. These two are in the face. So, no. This goes in there, and this also goes in there. The eyes and this. Yeah. Let's just call this face. Oh, we can't do that. That's right, because this is the skin. Okay, we'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. No worries. Now, we can... And also, if you have like any ideas about my process that you know that you think could simplify it, feel free to suggest anywhere you might see this. Because you know, I'm not a beginner, but not that good either. Any help is always appreciated. Actually, here, good. So we need to enrich it a little bit, I think. This is the skin. It needs to be something above the skin. Yeah. Again, we need to fix it a little bit, but that's okay. Good. So the interior of the hoodie doesn't seem to be blue. So that's going to complicate things a little bit, but all in all, good. A thing that kind of scares me is like streamlining the process too much to the point that I become complacent in a method and just stagnate, you know? But on the other hand, because I'm so afraid of that happening, you know, I've been going on for years without deciding on how I should act towards my works, which sucks. Actually, I think this needs to be a little bit lighter. But, you know, decided to take action and just do things and see where they take me. If I'm not happy with the result, I'll just change the way I do things, I guess. This looks good. This looks good, right? Yeah. I always zoom out because I have this tendency of being zoomed in, and that's not good. I could increase the size of the navigator as well, right? Right. Maybe like because I am right-handed. Keep it like this. A thing that I actually don't know how to do is to have a second window to view the values, because that would be really important to do. I know that I can like set up an extra layer to, I think it's saturation, and just paint everything black. I think I can do that, right? I think that's how you do it. Huge brush. So yeah, the skin is all very, very light. Like if I do normal, it covers everything. So saturation. let's call this black, or no, let's call it values. Yeah. Because sometimes I have trouble seeing the values behind the color that I'm actually painting. So this way I can keep myself zoomed in while watching the entire piece on the side. Yeah. Alright. Now we need, I would call it maybe Bordeaux. Right. What is that color? Something like this, right? So oh, I actually drew it all in the same one. Well, now it is. Now it is there. It doesn't influence the work too much, so. No need to worry about things that I don't know if they're even going to affect the process, because later on I'm going to be working more with layer effects rather than individually clipping every single layer. I just want to separate the colors. That might be a thing that I change in the future, instead of like making a layer for everything. Oh, this is Mystery Dungeon, Red and Blue Rescue Team, like for sure. I've also played that one a lot. I love those games. This is when we are leaving, not leaving, but like every morning when we wake up. Yeah. Yeah. I really like those games. Really throwing me back. Okay, so we have this, so it needs to be behind that. The red is behind. We can leave here, I guess. So a desaturated blue, or grayish blue, that's in the back. Good, good. All right, let's check the values. So far, I think they're okay. Yeah. I'm actually impressed. Huh. So the flower is more saturated than the earring or ear piercing or whatever. We're gonna go with this yellow, so warm that it's almost orange. Sorry, spaced out for a bit. Saving. All right. I know that the Clip Studio file is almost 1 gigabyte. Which is a lot. Alright, let's there. That, and now this. Good. Good. flowers there. Oops, too pixelized. It's pretty much black, so not gonna do pure black, but there we go. Now, another one, and we're gonna, oh, color history. We're gonna, I think something like this works, right? And this. Right, flowers made. I don't need to zoom out anymore. But it is a part that has like way too much detail. So now we have grays. Let's see, values. Yeah, I think the flower is okay. It's like the expected, I think. This, but let's make it gray. Yeah, seems fine. All right. So these are the seeds. I know that it needs to be at least ahead of that. I know it looks like I'm not painting anything, but that's because the paper itself, you know, quote unquote paper, but the last layer is gray, so as to not hurt my eyes so much, since I have to look at it for like 4 hours in a row. And you know, artists that do this for a living have to look at it for like 8+ hours a day. So yeah, we're gonna make it darker and just wing it a bit. Since they are so small, I don't think I need to like lasso it. I think it takes longer if I lasso, so I can just do that. Now these I will need to lasso. Because if I just hand color them, it's gonna take a while. that a great idea for new followers, like adding limitations to how I draw, or you know, the method itself, like no line art or no clipping layers, no alpha locks, nothing like that. That would actually be interesting because it would deeply affect the final result. That might be something to explore later on. Yeah. Having a semblance of control. Since, you know, there are other streams where the viewer can influence, for instance, the controller of the player, things like that. Let's look at it again. Values. I think it's good. You know, them being darker than the hoodie. And the shirt's not going to be too dark. So, because here is in shadow. Actually, this would be the same color as the rest. Oh. I gotta think about it. Maybe I should make this lighter. Oops. Let's see. Not that, not that, not that. This. Okay, it's turning a little bit to the green. So it's more or less this color, right? I can launch it. It's something like this. It changes dramatically in terms of values. It's very similar to this. Oh yeah, super similar. Look at that. Almost the same value. I mean, it kind of makes sense that it is the same value. It's at least a little bit bluish. It's hard to find a balance. Oh yeah, completely different values. But I think this works. So yeah, we're gonna adjust this, and honestly, I'm gonna wing it a little bit here. Yeah, I really think it should be more precise. Saving, go. Yeah, I think this is pretty much like the base color. Ah, let us see. I don't know. It's such a hard color to match. Wait, jolty. So this layer has nothing. Interesting. Alright. I think it works. Man, it's so hard. I think it's that. Okay, let's... polyline I think is best for this one. Yeah, I was really having difficulties finding this color, and I'm still not 100% sure. You know, decisions have to be made, or else we won't go forward. I can always add a correction layer later on. So at least for now, so the process can continue. I have to settle with good enough. Yeah. So what else is going to be colored with that? So as I can see, a lot of things are going to be colored with this. Good. Right. That one right there requires the lasso tool. So we're gonna do precisely that. Here, yeah, much better. It's almost like carving it out. Yeah, like that. All right, this we color it in. Good. This part right here also is also colored with that. There's so many colors in this design. Holy. First, let's do that one. Oh, is this? Oh, oh, it's with the subtract. All right, that makes sense. Need to remove a little bit from here. Good. Put it in. Let us fix a few places. Also, there are other ways of fixing these, because if later on we see there are a lot of places that have noticeable gaps, we can color behind the work, and so we don't have to waste so much time fixing them right now. Right, we color behind with neutral colors. Sorry, my voice is failing already. I just gotta get used to it, I guess. Okay, good, and that is the upper part of this color, because there's a lower part of this color. It is, I think it's the color that kind of holds everything together, honestly. It's sort of present in the head. The shirt has this color, the pants have this color, the boots have the color, so it's interesting. All right. It's already painted, so I don't forget. Oh, actually, that one is not. Now that I think about it, 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually did one less. Oh, that sucks. Alright, I'm not gonna fix that, but... Yep, it's a mistake. Good. Now, you can already add this part. Good. Now, good thing I drew this with the line tool. So polyline follows the arrow exactly. Sometimes this Clip Studio menu is really inconvenient. There we go. I apologize for the prolonged silence. Starting to think about a lot of different things. Now, there's a clearer stripe on the inner side. I don't think we actually made a color for that. But you know, it's not like, much clearer. I think you can get away with just this. Oop. There we go. Something like this is enough. Yeah, I think it is. Here. Good. And now. Oh, I don't know what I just did. I probably reorganized the menu, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't use it anyway. Just like that. Okay, I think it's decent. I'm thinking that it might be a little bit too desaturated. Also, I need to change the layer in which I drew that. It might be a little bit too desaturated. Let's put behind so it's even more simple to select it. Okay, just select like this. Just a bit faster, and just remove the parts that we don't want. Wait. Now, here. Very good. Also, I think this needs to be removed as well. Yeah. So now it should work, right? Oh yeah, this is a much better one. The other one was a bit desaturated. It's better like this. We do the same for the other side. Poly tool. Or polyline tool. Not poly tool. Poly tool sounds like a Pokemon. Alright, that one's done. Now we need the boots. Okay. Because I kind of skipped those without even noticing. So only a few selected parts actually don't use that color, so I'm gonna select, well, pretty much everything. My belly starting to get hungry again. I think this part would be faster with a lasso, so let's just expedite the process. I don't want to spend my life just selecting things. So, where did I miss? I missed that one, that one, that one, this one, that one. Good. Now, that is the entire part of the boot that uses that color. Sort of, but yeah. Just need to select. Oh, I don't know what I did there. Just need to select these two. Good, and now we go to the other one. Polyline. Actually, he needs to start up here. So let's go to I was kind of distracted there. Selecting a little bit too much, but I can remove it with a lasso tool. That's not a problem. So, yeah. And I'm gonna have to fix it there. No matter. Right, now lasso. This is included. Now, remove this. Remove this. This part. Okay. I think I'm gonna color everything at once and then other colors I'll color on top of this. Oh man, just stretching a little bit. in an hour or so, I'll make a small break and just to eat something, you know, to keep myself focused as well. Alright, now, I don't know if there's any color like that. I don't think so. So I'm gonna use a actually it needs to be above that. I'm gonna use a white, but not pure white, because pure white is reserved for areas of huge interest, and we're not there yet, so I'm not gonna do that. I actually didn't define the area up here, but do it like that. Maybe it's easier if I am closer to what I want to select. Like if the lasso tool had a stabilizer, it would be a godsend. Not even kidding. And also if this menu wasn't like in front of everything. Again, being a lot in my thoughts, not being very vocal, but honestly, this is a part that I kind of need a little bit more focus going in. Because the lines need to come out fairly decent if I don't want to be here all day just fixing selections. I have to fix it a little bit there. Oops. Let's see how it looks. Yeah. Goes like this. In terms of values, that's not bad. And it's not a toga, but it's like the top part also has pieces with this color, so we're gonna use it as well. Yeah. Such a complicated part. Okay, now the rest of the foot. Gotta fix that part. That's okay. Oop. Sometimes I get confused with the selection tool. That's okay. In digital art, there's nothing that can't be undone. Very good. Oh, and here I have to clean up the selection a little bit. I say that and I immediately make it worse. Alright. And that. Good. Good. Just. Now up here. There's also another part that is colored like that. So it is all of this. I think these are all under the flower, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. There we go. Because this little scarf thing isn't actually the same color as the rest of the piece. Just to complicate things a little bit. Yeah. Not only is it not like the white that we're about to paint, it's not like this blue either, despite being blue, and it's not like this blue either. So, yeah, really making it easy for me there. Now we also have this. Sort of complicated. I actually need the sketch for this. Alright, so below this one, oh, sorry, you can't see where I'm pointing at because the brush is too big. Because of this one, or below this one, everything is white on this. So I'm not even gonna try to like polyline this. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna paint this by hand for a change. Besides, if there's any problems, the colors of the braid are gonna be above the white, so it's gonna cover it. Not like my preferred method, but it works. Go. Oh. Crossed it a little bit. That's okay. And at least for this part, I think everything's pretty much done. Ooh. So many colors. Goddamn. It's actually insane. All right. This. I really hope you can't hear. You can't hear the background noise because someone reminded themselves to cut, I don't know if it's trees or just bushes, and there's like 2 construction sites near me. Oh, people with vanilla. Hey, how's it going? Put myself more comfortable here. Another day, another stream. How's the coloring? Well, you have here the navigator, which shows the entire piece, but if you want to see it slightly bigger, there it is. It's going, well, acceptably. Coloring is sort of my weak spot, honestly. I'm still exploring ways of working, so for now I'm just putting on the flats, and I'll work on the shadows and the lights with layer modes on top of every single flat, so at least that part is faster. But the flats are kind of slow because this design is very intricate, so it has a lot of tiny parts to it. But yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past like hour and a half or so. An hour and a half for this. It's just insane. now to find a purple. It is a very rich purple. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like 3 colors, so I'm gonna have to be very attentive to the order of things. Also because there's a lot of braids when it comes to selections. You know, I need to be careful. But because I can color them later on is not as worrisome. My hand kind of dodged a little bit there. There we go. I can just polyline. I'll color the braids. Oh, what happened? Okay, I color the braids later. Just like that. Is this below the white? It is. Okay, so I can just color it flat right now. And I'll paint the braids later. What else uses this color? Let's see. This part right here also uses that color. So we're gonna do that. To me, like, this purple part is the most ridiculous thing about the design, right? The asymmetry is what it is, but like the purple thingy is just so ridiculous. Okay. I'm gonna have to put the detail sketched on top of the line arts. Well, not on top of the line art, on top of the color. So that I can see where I have to color the other parts. It's a bit of a golden thing. I haven't put any color like that yet. Let's see. I grab this, get slightly more orange, saturate a little bit here. All right. There's so much background noise that I don't think you can hear. It's ridiculous. Oh, right. Wait, what? What? Am I missing something? Wait. Oh, it's an eraser. What the hell? Yeah, thank goodness you can, because... Oh boy. They're really going at it. Honestly, I don't even know what's being constructed. I just know that it has been noisy for like months now. You'd figure they'd be done with it, but no. Just... I guess they're building like Burj Khalifa 2 next to my house or something. I don't know. Alright, that... gonna desaturate it a little bit more. And on top of that, we're gonna make this here. And below that, still on top of everything else, we're gonna be... So it is a burned brown with a lively purple and a cyan blue. Jesus Christ. Alright. Lively purple. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That. And like this. Jeez. Braids are the bane of my existence. It's like I can draw them fairly decently now, but they always find a way to make it worse. In this case, coloring them. Just so infuriating, dude. I can't. Yeah. Earlier on, I talked about, you know, ways of making the stream more interesting, you know, so that people don't necessarily fall asleep to it if they don't want to. And I was thinking either with milestones or just like from time to time, like every month or so, looking at the list of followers or, you know, people that talk in the chat and have them suggest things to make, you know, to draw, obviously. To be more collaborative in that aspect. Just to have a little bit more fun. Wait, is it that? I think it is. Yeah. Something like that. No idea what to do for interactivity other than talk. I mean, there's ways. There's ways to like interact. For instance, what I was thinking about is like if I make more chill art streams, you know, for instance, chat can limit my ability to draw. Like, oh, you have to draw with your offhand, or you have to do a piece without line art, or, you know, flat shading, things like that. I think it would be interesting just for interaction a little bit. Still haven't figured out a way to implement that. So it's blue before purple. So it's this one. Right. Into here. Yeah. I also been thinking about having an overlay on the stream. Like plenty of changes, right? So for instance, to make it slightly more interesting, not a full VTuber, but like PNG tuber. When I talk, there would be like a small little thing here in the corner that move every time I talked, and when I didn't talk, it just like sort of drawing sort of stuff, like a limited set of images, not full motion capture. And then like for the overlay itself, the window would only be like, instead of being full screen, you'd be something like this or something like this, and have the chat here on the side, so that people can still see the chat without having to be on theater mode or something like that. Because I know a lot of people like to lurk and watch the stream or streams in general full screen. So that could be a quality of life improvement on the stream itself. It's like when it comes to improving it, we gotta be a little bit creative, right? So a little burnt brown. The thing is though, I think to have channel points, I need to be an affiliate, so we're still a long way from that, I think. But you know, it's always possible to do it without the channel points, you know, just sort of an honor system. I just gotta have like everything set up to not forget, you know. And besides, the pieces that I'm making are not super serious, you know. This is not a commission, I'm just doing it because I want to. And so there wouldn't be a problem like, oh, start drawing with your offhand for like an hour. I can definitely oblige to that. Not a problem. Alright, braids are colored there, but they're not colored here, so we're gonna take care of that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. If you have any suggestions for like challenges or so, you know, feel free to suggest. Wait, this doesn't make sense, right? Because blue, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, it just appears to be behind it, but it's not. All right. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. All right. Also, the challenges make for more catchy titles. So, you know, I might find some wondering viewers scrolling through the hundreds or even thousands of pages looking for something interesting to watch. If the title is interesting, they might drop by. because as an artist, I'm very isolated. Today is Glasses Day in Japan. Draw a character with glasses. Really? Alright. A character with glasses. Let's see. Let's see real quick. Characters with glasses. I don't know why I'm thinking there are some characters that are notorious, but it's like I'm drawing a blank. We have Joker, like from Persona. Alright. Wait, I got you. Let me save first. Alright. New. Portrait. No portrait. Square 1080. 200 is enough. Inktober is coming up. I was never that good dealing with Inktober or Mermaid, things like that. But I can try, I guess, this year. I can try. I mean, it only takes 8 hours to make. Ooh, I don't want to move that. It only takes 8 hours to do this. So. Mermaid is May, but with mermaids. Yeah. So some people really capitalize on that, and they make a lot of content for that month. I don't know. I can't even picture in my head a mermaid, right? So drawing it is not easy. Let's see. Ooh, too thick. Too thick. Yeah, this is way too thick. Alright, let's just try that. Right. Gonna shape off the side. Too many lines. Good. I have a reference in front of me, but I'm not being like completely exact with what I'm doing, so I hope you get there. Let's see. Yeah, this works. Now, the glasses, so the face does actually like this. But this is too big. Need to correct that. I put some fine liners yesterday. Gonna try a little ink stuff. Oh, dude, the feeling of getting new material. Oh, amazing. So, ellipses. Now the hand. So if I do this, the finger is mostly. Okay, let's think. The finger is mostly in place. It's just the last one that is kind of folded. Good. We can even go for. So if I'm using that hand, the thumb is pointing to the outside. This is kind of like the thought process that I should have in my mind, but speaking it out loud kind of helps to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to do, you know? That is kind of a tangent. I'm not sure if I like that. But whatever. We go with it. Okay, to find the pose for the index. Now. This. Let's do. Saving. Ooh, that's a lot. Alright. I need more references for the top of the head. Alright. Gendo Ikari. That's what's the name? That's Shinji's father, right? From Evangelion, I think. The hair is kind of weird though. The hair is so hard to draw in certain styles. Remember that I'm taking a little bit of artistic liberty here. But no, it's not that character. It was a good try though, but I think Gendo's glasses are like sort of like this. Something like that. These are round glasses. Oh yeah, squashed, like ovals. I actually don't know. I think in the more recent films, Gendo Ikari. I don't know if in the more recent films. Yeah, in the more recent films, it's almost like hexagonal. And I think in the last movie, he just went with a complete visor in the front instead of glasses. So, yeah, I was kind of confusing it. But it's not him. It's not him. It's actually fun, because there's a very specific thing to the design of the character that if I drew it right now, you would probably immediately guess who it is. Let's draw the neck like that. All right, a raid. Thank you. Shadow Stream supporters. So I assume I assume you're like a group of people that like to raid streams. All right. So I know the title of the stream says that I'm drawing Tighnari from Genshin Impact, and technically I am. Great. But right now we're doing a thing where I am drawing a character with glasses, and I want you to guess who the character is. So let's see if anyone can guess this one. Oh, thank you so much for the raid. Such a good experience. Actually, I can make this like this. Yeah. And ponytail, which might actually make the design more complicated to remember. It's Darth Vader. Yeah. So, I'm not even gonna make eyes, just because it's the fabled anime glass push. I can draw something that would immediately identify this character. I think. At least it would identify where it's from. I don't know if I should though. It's not Alucard. So we have Gendo, Ikari. We have Alucard. Yeah, it's Naruto. Like Naruto the anime, not the character itself. But no, what character is it? You know, that's the important thing. By the way, the reference that I took is from the classic, not the Shippuden. That's a shame. I'm trying to think of more characters with glasses then. Anyone that is watching can also participate. There's another problem with that. Also, if you don't know the name, that's not a problem, but if you remember seeing the character, you can try like explain your way into it. Oh, ellipses. So hard to draw by hand. I found it by Googling. Alright, I mean, valid. So, who is it? Because I gotta make sure that your search is correct. You can't weasel your way out of this. Yeah. It's Kabuto. Very well done. It's Kabuto. It only took you 3 attempts. I actually don't even remember who Ibisu is. Let me just refresh my memory. Oh, I see. Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. It's because of the shape of the faces. Yeah, yeah. It's definitely his thing because Ebisu thinks he's like smarter and it's very snarky, right? Uh, but um, I thought of Kabuto because he is like really the intellectual one. In Shippuden, he actually takes a very central stage in the story, so that was interesting. Very good. So, for those of you that joined now, I was working on actually coloring this piece, and it is extremely complicated. So just the braids alone are a lot of work. Let me just close the references there. All right. So I'm using like official reference from Genshin just to understand where the colors go and things like that. So if you see things happening, or if you think things are happening but you're not seeing them, it's just I'm tweaking the reference a little bit so I can see better. But yeah. Now we are going to color this. I am completely lost in the layers. Alright. So it needs to be behind that. So we're gonna do here this. I'm actually trying to think of more characters that use glasses in Naruto. More characters that use glasses. It's actually a complicated question. I mean, you have what's her name? I think it's Karen. Karin or something, but whatever. I call her Karen because all she does is complain. I think she has some sort of special vision that can see chakra or something. I don't know. Other than that, I don't know if this is like Mandela effect, but I think I've seen Tsunade wear glasses, but it's like she doesn't regularly wear them, so I mean, to be fair, being a ninja with glasses, it would be a recipe for disaster. So, can you imagine? Like such a weak spot. Like Naruto and Sasuke just fighting for their lives, and all of a sudden, hold on, I gotta clean my glasses. Such a stupid idea. If you like, I can whisper you more information about us, and you can decide later if you're interested in joining us in our Discord. Sure. Sure. I was actually looking for Discord communities. So you actually showed up at a great time. Because being isolated is kind of harsh. But yeah, feel free to do it. I'll check it after the stream. Now this behind that. I don't want that, so It's gonna be in the front. It doesn't. Alright. Whisper sent. You can trigger the one. Okay. Thank you. And once again, thank you for the raid. It was really nice of you. Yours is very good. Thanks. I'm actually kind of insecure about it, but it means a lot. Because I don't have a lot of outside opinions, so. Okay. Blue. So this is the shade of blue that is kind of complicated. It's a richer blue, but it's kind of dark. I gotta feel my way. What is that? I think it's more towards the green side. Something like this. Because the difference is not that big. Maybe like this. Yeah, I think this works. So we have that. We need another layer. And I didn't actually know that it was Glasses Day in Japan. Damn. People make days for everything. I think it's kind of funny. Like I know that the Valentine's Day tradition is different there. They have like the 14th is for girls to give to guys. Of course, this is heteronormative speaking here, but you know, girls give on the 14th and guys give back on March 14th, I think, which is the White Day. I don't know, they're weird. Like, I know that their Christmas now is kind of synonymous with KFC. It's such a different culture. And I heard recently that they're finally opening their borders for tourists without visas. So that's good news for a lot of people. Not for me though, because I would like to visit, but not yet. First I gotta get my life in order. Maybe in a few years I'll visit it. Oh, this is the white stuff. No. Don't take that out of context, alright? Next challenge, you have to redo this in MS Paint. Bruh. I've seen... Okay, I follow some people on Twitter that are really, really good in MS Paint. But it's like... I don't know. Like, doing it in MS Paint, there's no stabilizer, no anything. You can have a few brushes with a few thickness options, and I mean, the good thing is you can make every color that you need, right? But it would end up being like a weirdly distorted, impressionistic um, copy. Jesus Christ. That would be very, very tough on me, for sure. Gotta blend with a spray can. Yeah, I mean, I haven't used paint in a long time, so I guess, yeah. You know, they do have the spray can. This song is Ikrutik City in Soul Silver and Heart Gold. I'm positive that it is. Let me see. 214. Yeah. Oh. Other guy. Yeah, there's this one guy on Twitter that I've seen, and his account just exploded, right? He was doing stuff, and he was like, "Oh, we're almost at 1K. Please follow me." And 1 week later, I think he was at 50K. It just went viral, and now I don't even know how far the account has gotten. It was ridiculous. But honestly deserved, because his work, it has a lot of trouble doing, so absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved. Oh, that's the bow. This is the head. I am distracted. So, on September 29th, I will know the results of my application to my master's degree. And that might actually change a lot of things for the stream, like schedule and things like that. I mean, actually, it won't change the schedule since it's night shift. So I can stream in the morning again. Now the question is, will I have sufficient conditions to stream? Because right now I'm at home and I do have stable internet. Tough questions. Ooh. Just made it work. Well. Oh yeah, wait. 10:01. Oh, I see, I see. Right, right, because they have the flipped date. Yeah. I was thinking like if they were, because you put month before the day. I was thinking if they use the same system as the United States, but no, because the date is entirely flipped. It makes sense. Yeah. Only Americans don't make sense, honestly. The imperial system, the date is completely messed up. I don't know. I've also heard that the imperial system is derived from the metric system. So the imperial system is just a metric but with extra steps. Yeah. Okay, now it makes sense why they have glasses day. It's 10:01. That is very creative. I'm gonna use this color here. This. I'm gonna do this. Hey, I'm talking about systems. It's like I do art now. Actually, it's another thing that I should take care of, which is the bio. If people want to know more about me, like I have no information. But I actually studied in college 1 year of physical engineering. Yeah, just a guy drawing stuff, and it's like, that's really no information to go on about. Yeah, I studied physical engineering for a year in college. But I decided, like at the time I already felt like it wasn't fulfilling for me. I was literally doing it for the money. And I wasn't bad at it either. But you know, drawing is makes me feel a lot better. I like to create things, and it's not like you can't in physics, but you don't have as much freedom because of the scientific method, and because you actually need observations of the real world, whereas in art you can just mutate what you see, you know? Yeah, I should definitely like update that because it's really unfortunate. Just a guy drawing stuff. It's not very interesting. Like everybody's just a guy, a girl, unspecified person drawing stuff. uh, Also, did you have any drawing lessons yesterday? I know the day before that you had. uh, okay, Masked Bandit, thank you so much for the raid and being here. It was great having you here. So I hope your work goes well. And I stream Monday to Friday, from Monday to Friday. So just show up if you want. And yeah. But people. It's kind of weird that I have to call you people. The still life lesson was last night. Yeah, but like, you had a lesson the night before, right? Like in my mind, you already had 2 lessons. Am I? No? Wait. But you mentioned yesterday, you mentioned having difficulties in the lesson. Oh, right, because you're in a different time zone and you came from the lesson. So yesterday it was already night for you. Yeah, all right, all right. I gotta get used to this because it's complicated. Okay, I understand. I understand now. Yeah, last night. Yes. Yes, sir. Has improved badly on the 10 less than 10 minutes. Yeah. It's sort of a muscle, honestly. It's like when you have less than 10 minutes, you dedicate a little bit to observe so that you understand the essence of the pose. Then you dedicate a little bit to the gesture, and then a little bit to structure, right? And you see what proportion of time works for you, and then you use that proportion equally to every single time. It doesn't matter how much time you have. You should always dedicate a little bit to seeing, a little bit to gesture, and a little bit to structure, right? Because that's a problem that a lot of people have. Like they immediately throw themselves to drawing without properly observing um, what what is actually in front of them, right? So the drawing ends up making no sense, like out of proportion and things like that. They assume they have watched and they haven't really, especially in the beginning where our knowledge of the human body is very limited. So observing is very, very important. Yeah. With the 20 minutes, maybe it worked better because you had more time later on to realize some mistakes and to sort of mask them and correct them, right? Yeah. It's easier to manage time when you have more time. When you don't have as much time, it's like uh, you gotta go for it, you know? Yeah, that's okay though. Just like I said, it's a muscle. Like you stop doing it and it becomes hard. I shouldn't be doing this. You stop doing it and it becomes hard, but if you just do it continuously, it just starts getting good on its own. And if you focus on what it's not so good, it starts like to improve really really fast. Like a focused practice, not just practicing for practicing, focused practice. It starts getting good really fast, and that's good. That's what a lot of people do to improve fast. Like iterative drawing, where you draw the same thing but multiple times while simultaneously analyzing the previous ones to see what's wrong and what you can do to change it. That's like the fastest way to improve. Okay. This is what it would look like. $20. The drawing itself doesn't look very big though. Do they not encourage you to draw bigger? Because it's easier to control what you're doing if the drawing is big. Because if the drawing is big, the mistakes are big. I see. Yeah, when it's smaller, it's hard, especially with charcoal. A3. Yeah. I can more or less tell the size of the drawing because of the the width of the line. Because you wrote 20 minutes, and I can see more or less the size of the drawing because of that. Yeah. Now, a cream color. But let me see. You already have some knowledge about the planes, definitely. Like how light separates the different planes. It's just that because it's so small, it becomes hard to work on it. The size is about the same as I saw. Oh, I see. Yeah, but it's like, it's also part of the exercise of observation. So we see at a specific size, but we cannot flatten the image that we're seeing, right? Everything has proportions, and so if you apply the same proportions to the whole page, you can observe from the back of the class and draw in a zero if necessary, right? Granted, if you're closer, you can see more details, but honestly, for 20 minutes, you're not going to make a lot of details. But I actually didn't pay too much attention to the proportions. Let me see. Actually, the proportions are really good. Maybe the lower legs just a tiny bit too long. But other than that, they seem really good. The ulna seems to have a good length. The crossed arms make sense. Yeah, it's more like the fibula might have been a little bit too long. I didn't do any measuring. Oh, yeah. So without measuring, the proportions are actually pretty good. So just from eyeballing it, yeah, it's pretty good. Like 20 minutes means that you can spend like, I don't know, 5 measuring. Maybe even more, because you're using charcoal, which is a super fast medium to draw. And you can put it down and you can remove charcoal if you need to. You can work and rework that medium, I mean. So if you're expedite in a way that you work, you will definitely have more than enough time to do some measuring for the proportions. Now this is that, so it needs to be below that but above the rest. And we're gonna, well, the title of the stream is what? I don't remember. Just day 3. Alright, I didn't specify like coloring or anything like that, because this might take another day. We're already at 2 hours and a half, and oh boy. That's good coloring, man. I don't know. Like, I still consider the whole thing drawing, you know? So I just put drawing day 3. Because they can probably see it from the thumbnail on Twitch. So I don't think it's really necessary. But I have been downloading the streams and uploading them on my YouTube channel, which I am not sure if I have linked. on the Twitch page. If I haven't, I will. Just to keep the VODs permanently, you know? Because, you know, again, not affiliate, so the VODs don't last forever. I mean, I think not even in partner they last forever. Yeah, I'm gonna link it. I think, let me check. I think YouTube is right now processing yesterday's stream. I think. Let me see your channel. I think it has processed. I had to verify my channel because I think you can only upload until 15 minutes if it's not verified. But now it is, so I can upload like 4 hours. Technically speaking, I can upload 12 hours, but the streams are about 4. So, but yeah, I will try to link it below. But it's the same name. It's the same name. It's Azelcor. Or Azel, if we're going with angel pronunciation. Should really be doing this with the lasso tool. Yeah. I still don't know if I should dedicate my time to Instagram. I think they are recently betting more on Reels. Right? Reels and Stories. I don't know. I gotta see like what platforms work best for discovery and engagement. But you know, trial and error. I'm planning to do this for a long time. So I have more than enough time to figure that out. And you know, I don't touch these drawings outside of the stream so that everyone can follow along the process, you know, not like Minecraft YouTubers, which is like, I did some off-camera mining and they have like 2 double chests with with diamonds. Yeah, art social media is a really complicated beast to tackle, and honestly, I gotta start learning about it because the later, the worse it's gonna get, really. It's like there is no secret formula. We just go for it, and with time and seeing what works, what doesn't work, we'll get there. I'm trying to see. Dude, what is that? I'm pretty sure it should be like... Oh, this is the head, right? This is all head. So where's the ribbon? The problem of not naming your layers. I think I've got to put like an epilepsy warning. How many layers? I think 43. I mean, granted, some layers are being eaten up. Like this one just pointing where the light is. There might be layer 1 copy, and a few layers here. but overall it should be like 40. But that's just for the flats, because then it's gonna be like shadows multiply, and it's gonna work for every flat. So but like, am I crazy? I'm not being able to see where that is. I gotta be crazy. There it is. All right. Jesus. Let's go. I'm used to painting on one layer. Yeah, it's different styles. It's different styles. I can definitely paint in one layer. It just requires a different thought process. Like the multiple layer, you know, I like that the security that digital painting offers. But when I do like traditional drawing and painting, you know, one layer and you gotta go for it. But it definitely requires a different mindset. It's gonna be behind everything. I don't think you have said before where you, not where, what do you use to paint? Like, do you paint with oil? Do you paint watercolor? Acrylic, wash? Trying to think of more paints. Graffiti. Digital. Okay, so digital. Pretty good, pretty good. I feel like every once in a while I gotta step back a little bit from digital and invest a little bit of time in traditional, because I think it improves my work a little bit. I don't really know how to describe it. When I was doing my portfolio for college, you know, I had to do traditional stuff, and I went out and I started doing watercolors of places close to me, and I was really enjoying it, and I saw this massive improvement. It was ridiculous. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm gonna reselect. Alright. So what is there left to color? There's not a lot here. There's this, definitely. Okay, we're getting close to finishing. Not so bad. Now, here we go again. Gloves. Gloves. There we go. Gloves. So we're gonna put one above. Would be cool to see you stream some traditional work. Yeah, it would require a different setup. I think I have materials for that. I don't know if I have like a super good camera for it though. But you know, maybe one day. Maybe one day. Gotta figure that one out as well. That's good. What else? Just gonna this. Because I have plenty of materials. I have like acrylic, squash, oil, you name it. That isn't to say that I'm good with those, but it's like accumulated material from college, because I was really encouraged to experiment a lot with that. I'm gonna go with that. With this. Oh, actually, what layers are these? This isn't top. Okay, so everything's gonna be on top. Good. Good. Something like this. Just closer to like gray, something like this. Which takes a while to change the color. Try to like this. Now we have a green. A rich green, like that. Colors all over the place. It's really daunting how many colors this design has and still manages to work. Fantastic job by the designers. Let's go with the dark blue. Yeah, it's incredible. Okay, what else? What else do we have? We also have this here, which is actually there we go. And what else? We have the boots, but from the main body, I think it's everything. No, why you do this? Come on, no. It's gonna take an eternity. Right. It was bugging me. Alright. Now, the feet. Let me see if I have that color. It's more or less the color that I used on that little thing just now on the feet. It's more or less this color, so I'm gonna use it exactly. So we're gonna put it down here. Oh, all right. fix that later. Because there are lines that we cannot see. Because they don't need line art, they're just a variation in color on the same piece. So that has no line art. I could probably bring out the detail. Actually, I didn't draw them. But if I bring it here, like there's patterns here and patterns here that I didn't draw. And technically speaking, there should be something here as well. That I also forgot to draw. I'm lazy. Let me select things. Here we go. Good. The lines later will cut the block of color a little bit. One thing I really need to improve on is expressions. I feel like I always go for neutral expressions, and that kind of kills the mood, right? Like, dead-eyed looking at the side, yeah. Gotta improve on that. Make it more expressive. I mean, for crying out loud, he's holding a bow. He has an arrow in his hand. Like, there's nothing. Deadpan. Jesus. I'm a bit sleepy. Now, we need to work on the bow. I don't remember where the gloves were. Let's stop side. There they are. So there's that. So the bow needs to be here. Oh, did I did not. Alright. The bow needs to be here. I'm gonna make a new folder for that. So it uses green, sort of golden, and white. Let's get the golden first. I actually like this part a lot. It was very complicated to draw, but it's really, really cool. The way that the shapes trick you into thinking you're looking at one priority in perspective, but it's actually completely different. It's really cool. Like, you think, oh, this piece is behind that piece because it's passing below, but in this side it's passing on top, so they're actually crossing each other in perspective. It's a really neat detail. There, just a tiny bit there. Now, Again, I should be using the lasso tool. But I'm already halfway, so... Really good. Alright. Now, here... The thing that I was thinking about recently was how many of the anatomy tutorials that we find on YouTube and things like that, they skim the content a lot. They teach you the shortcuts, but they don't teach you why that shortcut works, you know. And the example that I have in my mind is when they explain that the arm is like a chain. And let me just color this in so I can like give an example. Like a lot of them are like, oh, the arm is a chain and it does like wait, it's saving. It does this, right? And then the block does this, right? And then it comes back here, and the arm, well, the arm does that, right? It's kind of hard to actually, without any construction, but you get the point, I think, from this image. I shouldn't have, I know what it's this line. This line is confusing me. Right? They say, oh, the arm does that. And it's like, they don't explain why the arm does that. Yeah, the chain, right? They don't explain why the arm does that, and I thought about it, and there's actually a really good sense to it all, which is, if we think of an arm, right? If we think of an arm, so I'm gonna actually change the color here so that it's more visible. We have the deltoid, which goes all the way to the half, right? And this is also from Bridgman. The insertions of the muscle are always thinner than the muscle itself, right? The belly of the muscle. So, of course, they're going to be thicker where they contract and extend, and they're going to be thinner where they're inserted. At least most of the times. There might be some exceptions on muscles that I have never heard of. But yeah. So, if the deltoid inserts here, right, it's taking less space on this side. So, if you want to have muscles with other functions, it would be better to be on these sides. So the bicep goes here and inserts itself on this side, and the tricep goes here and inserts itself on this side. And the brachioradialis, if this is the thumb, right? This is the thumb. The brachioradialis will pretty much come from the side without disturbing the bicep or the tricep, right? And rotate itself towards here. Right? That's why it looks like a chain, because they are trying to not interfere with each other, pretty much. But they never explain that, right? It's just, oh, do a chain, and people that are learning are like, okay, I'm gonna do a chain, and just looks like a bunch of blobs. Another thing that I realized is that it's actually very interesting to look at fat people because you start to understand that they don't accumulate fat everywhere, right? There are some bone markers. They are very visible even if you are like morbidly obese. For instance, the elbow. The elbow cannot have fat above it. Because if it does, when you extend your arm, you're gonna what's the name, the nerve, the word for it? You're gonna lock fat in the joint of the elbow, right? Like you can accumulate fat on the other side. It's completely fine. Like when an arm folds, like the fat can go to the side and just, you know, just have a lot of fat. But in here it stretches. Exactly. You need to maintain a range of motion. So fat accumulates where you don't need to move so much. Right? And so if you have the pelvis, this is actually very interesting. You have the pelvis and you have the iliac crests, right? Which are these points. The fat will actually accumulate along these lines, which are actually the pelvis, right? The top part of the pelvis. And so you see like the fat doing this. And then it does this. Of course, because of the skin, it kind of looks like the same volume. But the pelvis is sort of like a container. It's almost like a muffin, right? Where the fat kind of overflows. Yeah, overflowing bucket. Exactly. These are all like very interesting things that a person can get to by observing. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just go straight to the shortcut, and eventually, in more complex situations, they cannot solve the pose because they don't understand. It's like a person shouldn't take a shortcut without knowing why it's a shortcut. You've been studying anorexic people. I mean, I usually study fit people, you know? Because that way you know they don't have too much muscle. They don't have any fat. And you can see the bone markings and you can see well-developed muscles, right? Because it's also not a good idea to study like very muscular people because of hypertrophy of the muscles, and then you just see like blobs everywhere and it's hard to identify the shapes. So for studying, it's not good material. So knowing how to select our material is important as well. Okay, do another one. It's primarily on the bottom. Actually gonna select everything here. But I think like drawing fat people should be later on. Because once you understand the structure of the body, then you should learn how to add fat to it. Because if you start drawing fat people, you start forgetting where things go. Sometimes it's hard to see the volumes, things like that. Like, it's tremendously fun it has fat people have a lot of curves, right? And a lot of folds, a lot of overlaps, and that's fun because it's basically the pencil just sliding over the paper. You're not focused on the plane changes here. Like fat people with a lot of fat, there's no plane, right? It's all very curvy, so you can just go wild. But that's the issue when we're starting out, because it can be very complicated to see where everything is. I actually have a few books of anatomy by Michel Loricella. It's 4 books about artistic anatomy. The first one is just describing everything. It has over 1,000 drawings. Like, you finish the book and you almost leave. Oh no. You almost leave with a doctor's degree, honestly. It's really, really complete. Then you have like a second book, which is just schematic, about how to simplify the different parts of the body into their essential volumes and how to construct those volumes. And the third one is about bone markings, so that you know from observation where the wireframe of the body is, pretty much. Because the skeleton is pretty much a wireframe. If we were to be sculptures, that's what the bones are. You know, places that never change shape nor proportion. I mean, they do have a little bit of flexibility in them, but overall inflexible elements that kind of ground us to perspective. Whereas muscle, depending on its state, can change volumes drastically. And the fourth one and last one is fat. How to add fat to people. It's a very, very complete collection. I think all in all it has like 2,500 drawings and small texts on almost every page explaining the process. It's really good. And it's like if you are reading the let me just where's the mouse here? Michel. Let me just check. It has 2 L's. La. It's like this. I think the books exist in English. Like, I have the books in my native language. I was lucky to find them. But from the name, it probably has, like, English editions. Almost certain. The drawings are really good. I think Michel Ursula is or was a professor in a fine arts academy in France. So, you know, he means business. And it's always important to have different resources when we're studying, because anatomy is about developing your own shorthand style to how you approach people, or how you approach drawing people. And everyone is going to have a slightly different method to it, even if they don't explain it very well. Some people don't, which is okay. Not all of us can be teachers. Oh, I have to take the negative space. The Morpho books, there's a lot of those. Yeah. Like, he's really good. His career is pretty much anatomical drawing. Yeah, like, with those books, you kind of understand that. For instance, figure drawing classes, it's not about drawing the model that you're looking at. It's about using the model as a reference to draw a person. Like, you pretty much stop caring about the detail. You take their proportions, right? You take their fat percentage, whatever, like an estimate, obviously. If there's any deficiencies or any malformations, you also take those, but you're not actually drawing the person, because you're, you know, not doing hyperrealism. It's only a study. Right? Yeah. Let me see. In terms of color, is there any color that I put in that I could use? I don't think so. I think I could use the gem, no? Oh, sorry. Saving. Yeah. You know, just with Hampton, Bridgman, Lorisella, studying those three already, like, makes you go really far. But of course, there are always other resources. A few years ago, I don't know if it was like 2 or 3 years ago, Stan Prokopenko, I don't know if you know him. He's pretty famous in art circles on YouTube. He had a podcast with Marshall Vendruff, where they would talk about a lot of different topics related to art in general. Yeah, Procom. Yeah, Proc is a given. Yes. And like, it was from there, the Draftsman podcast, that I found out about Kimon Nicolaides. I'm gonna write it. Nicolaides. But yeah, I found out about him, and yeah, he also has an interesting approach, but I haven't really studied it, to be honest. Which can also be interesting. Like Vendroff really likes Nicolaides, so it was always good to watch different approaches to anatomy. And also, like, the approaches also change depending on what you want to do. Like, if you want to do cartoons, to be a more well-rounded artist, it's good that you know anatomy. But like, to be a cartoonist, as long as you understand like the shapes, you can go far. Like, you can really exaggerate human anatomy, make a huge torso but like really small limbs. First, I'm thinking about Dracula. I think it's Dracula. I've never seen Hotel Transylvania, but I think it's Dracula. Like, he has the V-shaped body, huge torso, long legs, but skinny, right? But it's still a humanoid figure. That's all that matters. Yeah. Caricature is interesting, and it can help you learn about anatomy because you have to emphasize certain aspects, right? Which means you are already paying attention to the original proportion, and then you are changing the proportion. So caricature is, if anything, a good exercise. And like, I really admire the artists that do caricature on the street, on the spot, in just a few minutes. Yeah, you want to retain likeness. Exactly. Like, you need to understand what are the key features of a person's face and extend them, push them to the limit. Because like, there are caricature artists on the street that in a few minutes can like capture your likeness with just a few lines. It is crazy. A lot of work behind that. Well, this is actually going like pretty nicely. I think what I'm gonna, like, this stream is basically coloring, and yeah, next stream is gonna be shading, I guess. So the bow is already here. I think I did two colors in the same layer, but that's okay. So behind everything, this should be that. Yeah. This is behind that. Yeah. So now, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. the kind of thing that gives me mixed feelings is like street artists that do those like really cool images of planets in outer space and things like that. It gives me mixed feelings because, like, on one hand, it really is incredible work, but I get the feeling that they only know how to do that, right? It feels like they don't know anything else. Like that works, they make their money, but I don't know if you ask something outside of that, if they know how to even approach it, and it feels kind of sad. Because like managing to make money from art is like a huge win, but at the same time, it feels like hmm. A lot of people just find a technique or style and never develop it or branch out. Yeah, yeah. It's like I kind of get it. On one hand, if you change too much, people might not come to you anymore. I get it. Because they're like searching that specific product that you know how to make expertly. But kind of sad. Because people technically trap themselves in that. The music from the bike. I really like this one. This is from Platinum. Oh. We're gonna give it a little bit. This. Okay. I think like dealing with art in our everyday lives and not change with time tells a lot about us, right? I see it as one of two options. You either don't change much as a person, are you completely stagnated, which has to be mind-numbing. Like, things are constantly changing, opinions are constantly changing, you know? So our decisions towards art should be constantly changing as well. Or you are forcing yourself to not change because you're already stuck in like that thing where people go to you to have a specific product, and so you are afraid of changing and losing those people. And that's kind of sad. But I bet that happens a lot. Yeah, I mean, they can be satisfied with where they are. What I'm just saying is that life changes a lot, you know. Maybe it's something personal for me, like my exploration drive when it comes to art is kind of insatiable. I want to know everything, which is impossible, right? But yeah, but I can't imagine myself being satisfied with a way of doing things. I'm constantly changing methods and things like that, and mishmashing techniques and yeah. It's a true story though. Like I remember when I was doing an exam. This was an exam, all right. This is serious stuff. I was doing an exam to enter college, to enter the art degree that I did. So I have a bachelor's, right? And in the middle of the exam, like there was an exercise where it was like, oh, you have 4 photos of famous writers. Choose one photo and represent it in the exam paper using 2 different materials. And I picked oil pastel and China ink. Right? And it's like I had never used both of those materials together. And those 2 materials were probably the worst ones that I had ever used. And it went flawlessly though. Flawlessly. Like I could have lost everything trying that shit on the exam. Sorry, but it's like it is what it is. You know, I could have lost everything and it worked really, really well. And I had a lot of fun in the middle of the exam. And I knew what it was, you know, immediately. Like, this is it, you know? This is what I do. I have a few stories like that. I used to, I had a subject in my bachelor's that was painting techniques, right? Like my bachelor's was multimedia, so it was more dealing with electronics and computers and things like that. But I had electives that I could choose, right? And I chose a few different things to vary. Again, the whole exploration thing. And I went to painting techniques, and we got to a part where we were dealing with watercolor, and I got really frustrated because you can't really control watercolor the same way you control a pen. You know, water likes to do its own thing. So, you know, people were trying to do illustrations and things like that. And in the watercolor section of the class, the only thing that I did was practice how to do the perfect page gradient. I am not even joking. It was all I did in those classes. If I could find the scans, I would show it. It was ridiculous. But I think I deleted everything. Unfortunately. Trying to see if I can find it. It was kind of funny because it took me so long to achieve perfect gradients that the teacher said to me, Like, he was very open-minded. He knew exactly what I was trying to do, right? And he looked at me and he said, "These are some of the best watercolors that I've seen." Because I also tried different things, like making different. Imagine you do a gradient, right? And then you do a gradient on top of that, crossing it, and so it starts to have like different sections with different colors on the page. So it's completely abstract, but it's very geometrical, and it's like it was by freehand, right? So it was really really good. And he said these are some of the best watercolors that I've seen. And on this part, you're gonna have a 20, which is a 20 out of 20, right? So 100%. And he said, oh, and because I took so long to make the watercolors, I ended up not paying so much attention to the other parts, like oil painting and things like that. And so I ended up taking a bad grade on some of those. And so I ended up like with a 20 and a 10 on the same semester. It was really really funny. Man, it's a shame that I can't find it. Because the images are really good. Because I even scanned them. I think I have them upstairs, but man, such a shame that I don't have them here. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So many stupid stories. Eventually, when I remember, when there's like a queue, a proper queue, I will probably remember and tell stories like that, like those. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Oh yeah, one day I'll find those images and I'll show it. I'll show them. Like, I don't even know if I'm capable of doing them anymore. That's the whole thing. Actually insane. Another thing that I like is having shitty drawings from like almost 10 years ago next to me to always remind myself. Yeah. Like, my life did a lot of loops and turns, and I can tell you that my original goal didn't change. It is fantastic. But here we dab a little green. Why aren't we dabbing the green? Can I do... No, I cannot. Come on, man. So many layers. Layer 54. I am dying. There we go. Yeah. I mean, it would be nice if you still had, like, your high school art book. Like, we don't need to save every single work that we do, but it would be nice to save a few, you know, each time, to just have a timeline, you know, because we are very, very fast to compare ourselves to a monster I drew. Nice. I mean, drawing monsters is pretty ballsy. Like, we are very adamant in comparing ourselves to our yesterday selves, not allowing enough time to grow. And we are also very quick to imagine an immediate future self that is completely unrealistic. I'm trying to think. There are a few things that are left, so 25 minutes to 4 hours of stream. We are gonna see if we can take care of those, because I really don't want to color flats Monday. So today's Friday, right? Yeah, today's Friday. Yeah, I don't want to color flats on Monday. Go with our little patterns. I think I'm gonna use the weekend to watch shows. I remember you yesterday talked about Devs and Severance. So I might watch one of those because they seem interesting. And it's always a good topic to talk about on stream. This, Jesus, horrendous. There we go. Actually, let's pull it a little bit. Now, down here. Yeah. So the lower part also has a small pattern. Oh, it's on top of everything, right? Should be quick. Gotta look for the number. There it is. I'm gonna put this on top of everything, so there's no problem drawing on things lower than that. Yeah. Do something like this, and then do something like that. Okay. Very good. I just remember that I didn't leave anything from yesterday, so I still have to cook lunch after the stream. Oh boy. I'm so hungry. Ah, cooking is fun. Yes, it is. I mean, for the most part. I do have some harsh reactions to like onion and things like that, but for the most part, cooking is very fun. Yes. Mm, yeah. All right, that pattern is done. What else am I missing? The boots, right? The boots. They actually have the color of the hair, so at least I don't have to do a new color. Oh, and the shirt as well. Oh. Anything else that I'm missing? The bracelets. Oof. Anything else? All right, shirt, bracelets, boots. Okay, gotta be quick then. It's gonna be terrible, but whatever. Oh, actually, I shouldn't draw there. I should draw in a separate layer. Alright. This can fix it a little bit. I like how even though I put like very high anti-aliasing, it still comes out completely pixelated. I mean, it might be because I'm a bit zoomed in, but still. Just fixing it a little bit. Still terrible. No. No. What's it called? Stabilizer on the selection tool leads to very crappy selections. The tablet sensitivity just makes me look like someone with Parkinson's. Alright, it's this color now. Actually need bigger brush. Saving. Speaking of saving, I should actually save this. Yeah. Okay, we have get that MS Paint practice in. God. I mean, it would make for good content, I guess. And if I can make something half decent, I can flex it. Yeah. I think I'm gonna do it the arrow. This color. Can just thinking about doing this in MS Paint. Oh my god. I mean, it's an idea for what to do after Tighnari, I guess. Right. Is this pure white? I don't know. I don't want pure white. Okay, bow, wing slash quiver, tail. The boots are done. The gloves. Right. The gloves. So, oh, a very light gray. Okay, that's blue slash green. I think I can go with this one. Yeah, I think that'll work. All right. And I think everything else is just a pattern that I didn't include in the shirt. Like, I can already release that. All right. Now comes the kind of hard part, because I need to. Is there any color like that? It's like olive color. It's a bit like this. So this is the one to join. Sort of olive color. How do I do that? I can do it like this. Right. The pattern is something along the lines of this. This. Good. Saving again. Okay, 10 minutes. I've seen a few things that also let out in the patterns a few simple things. It's on the sleeves. One of them, the long sleeve has a marking with this color, and the short sleeve actually has markings that I didn't draw. It's present me paying for the mistakes past me, I guess. I really don't want to lay in colors on Monday. I'm gonna focus on shading and volume, because it also looks good in the YouTube titles, man. I will settle for that. It looks kind of weird that there's no separation here, but I will fix it with volume, I guess. Alright, I think that is all. I can't feel my legs. Whew. That is all. Let me save before I regret saying it. Very well. Now, Jesus. Thank you. Yeah, I did try my best to keep it as clean as possible so that we can ruin it all with shading. Yeah. So, it's about time for me to go eat something before I collapse, and I wanna thank you again for being in my stream for the third day in a row. Incredible. I don't know if anyone else is watching, maybe from the raid, but they are. I want to thank the raid again. And for potential viewers on YouTube, I also want to thank you for watching. Yeah, next stream is going to be Monday 26th of September. So yeah, it's gonna have a kind of an abrupt ending because I haven't done closing scenes yet. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll be leaving now. Goodbye.